Throughout the Super Nintendo's life, there were just a handful of games featuring the Super FX enhancement chip. This week is a review of one of an even smaller number of Super FX games that never even made it outside of Europe. In the 16-bit era, it was common for games to be region exclusive. Games like Seiken Densetsu 3, the sequel to Secret of Mana, never made it out of Japan. Other JRPG classics such as Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy VI never came to Europe, and in some extremely rare cases, some games were European exclusives like Dirt Racer. You'd think that a game featuring Nintendo's amazing Super FX chip would be a really big deal, but you'd be forgiven for not knowing of Dirt Racer's existence. It's a game of which seems to have completely fallen off the radar when it comes to information on the internet. Now that could be because it's a rare instance of a European only release, or more likely, it's because it's an abomination the likes you've never seen on the Super Nintendo, or any other console for that matter. First things first, this game actually has loading screens from the moment you boot the console up, and at various points throughout the game. Now there are other releases that have loading screens, such as the ambitious port of Street Fighter Alpha 2, but that's a technically impressive game. By comparison, Dirt Racer looks like utter trash from the moment it's finished loading. Taking a leaf from Stunt Race FX, there are 3 different vehicles to choose from: a standard rally style car, a smaller F1 style racer, and a gigantic monster truck. Yep, almost exactly like Stunt Race FX. You can take part in a knockout tournament or a league mode, both of which will start you racing around the England tracks, and completion of either mode will allow you to take on other tournaments or leagues in Australia and Alaska. But you will never get that far unless you happen to have passwords to take you there, as this game has no save function. Now considering I can't see any passwords for this game online, you can only imagine how tough this game is. Rather than racing an entire pack of other vehicles, Dirt Racer is all about one-on-one racing, facing just one other vehicle in a race to the finish line. Each country has 5 different tracks, from straight races to a so-called stunt track, which doesn't appear to be any different to any other track, and there's also a puzzle track, and the developer's definition of puzzle is to drive through a track making sure you collect question marks in the correct order. Unfortunately, the order is given to you by labels on the floor underneath the question marks, which is incredibly hard to see until you're actually collecting them. There are many problems with Dirt Racer, but its biggest crime is track design. It is almost impossible to navigate courses because the draw distance is so damn poor. You could be racing at top speed only to run into the barrier of a curve and just explode. Occasionally arrows appear to tell you to turn left or right, and most of the time they are completely unhelpful. Plus, all too often there are hazards such as trees or rocks that just appear out of nowhere, and the collision detection is so terrible that you'll run straight into them and explode into a hilarious kaleidoscope of colours. Your best bet is to tap the acceleration button and slowly make your way around each track at a leisurely pace. Don't worry, your CPU controller opponent's intelligence is so non-existent that it could be outpaced by a rolling tub of Pringles. 1 minute they'll pass by and then you'll catch up, only to see them literally stopping in the middle of the road waiting for you to pass by. Side note, do you know how this game tells you whether you're in the lead or not? Surely one of the numbers at the top of the screen tells you that you're in first or second place, like every single racing game ever? Well, no, none of the numbers here do. The place indicator is that sodding smiley face in the corner, and it is utterly ridiculous. I haven't even gone into how the cars handle because they're all absolutely useless. You steer your vehicle with both left and right on the D-pad, and can also use the shoulder buttons to steer just a little bit further, but it doesn't matter because you'll either be steering too much or too little and crash and spin out anyway. What's particularly fun is when you drive this in a straight line over a small hill and explode when you land. What a game! I cannot express how badly written this game is. Even the menus are infuriatingly unreadable with horrible fonts. The graphics in general are a muddy mess of polygons, while the music and other audio are just incredibly mundane. Playing this game for review was not a fun experience, and I hated every second of it. With every passing moment, I remembered that I spent money on this actual cartridge. I could have used that money for so many things: food, clothes, drink, better games. Instead, I bought this cartridge so you guys don't have to. Now, I don't think anyone has ever finished the game, and seriously, I mean that. With all the game's issues, it becomes a serious achievement to even finish a race on easy mode. It is such a broken excuse of code that I don't even know how it passed quality assurance, and according to the opening credits, it did. Forget this game not making it outside of Europe, how did it even make it outside the damn factory? Well, I guess the game didn't crash while I was playing it. Poor controls, awful tracks, dumb opponents, broken gameplay, poor collision detection, basically every aspect of this game is a low point for gaming. An absolute waste of my time for playing and reviewing this, and probably quite frankly a waste of your time for watching this. Sorry, is all I can say, just sorry. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this and want more, you can click this icon to subscribe, this icon to support me financially via Patreon, or these icons to watch more videos from my channel. Why not take a few seconds to answer the question of the week in the comments, or just let me know what you thought of this video. See you next week.